What if I told you the size of your home isn't just about how much land you have, but about how well informed you are to utilize that land? Time, money, and control. Those are the three things you want to be strategic with, or else you'll be left wondering why you didn't know the rules of the game before you started. Hi, my name is Japnam, and I've been a designer here in British Columbia for the past decade. So let's talk about it. How big can your house be? And more importantly, how can you make sure you're in control of that decision instead of letting the system decide for you? In today's video, we're going to go over the factors at play, how those factors are measured, and some lesser known options available to you. If you're planning a new build, you won't want to miss this. I'm going to decode and simplify everything you need to know so that you can take on your next project with ease. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for when analyzing a property for your next build. The first thing to understand is the size of your building isn't just limited by how much land you have. It's limited by what's allowed. There's a few things to look for here. The main one is zoning laws. Think of these like a rule book for your property. How high can you build? How wide? How far back? How many square feet? All of these can be found in the zoning. If you don't check the zoning carefully, you might end up buying a property that doesn't let you build what you want. I've pulled some examples off Google of various cities so you can have an idea of what these zonings look like. Environmental factors. Your land may include trees, green spaces, or protected habitats. Waterways, both big and small, require an extra level of consideration and are often governed at the state or provincial level. These environmental factors are going to come with minimum protection zones and setbacks. When it comes to environmental factors, be proactive. Figure out the impact before you invest your hard-earned money. Special restrictions. Some properties come with an extra layer of restrictions. Floodplains, heritage areas, and busy roads are all areas where an extra level of considerations may apply. For example, if you live on a main arterial road, you may have to set your house back further than a typical lot to account for future road expansions or sidewalks. In another example, if you live in a floodplain designated area, you may be prevented from building an occupiable basement, and that's for obvious reasons. Generally, the less of these you have on your property means more freedom to design, thus making these properties more desirable as building lots. Now, the mistake people make is thinking that because they own the land, they can do whatever they want with it, but that's not how the game works. And now you know how it works, let's jump into the details. What counts in your square footage? All right, let's say you figured out the zoning. You know what's allowed, but now comes the next big question. What are the key numbers and what actually counts towards them? The big four, the meat and potatoes of this video. Make sure you pay attention now. Lot coverage matters. One of the main factors is lot coverage. Now, think of this like the footprint of all of the buildings on the property. This is usually expressed as a percentage. Floor to space ratio, another key number. This is the figure obtained when you divide the total floor area of all buildings on the property by the size of the property. This number, like the name suggests, is expressed as a ratio. Setbacks control where you can build. You want a massive front yard or maybe a huge backyard? These rules determine your layout. Setbacks are clear, unobstructed distances kept between any buildings on the property and the property lines, and also between different buildings on the same property. And lastly, height restrictions exist. Just because you have the land doesn't mean you can build a towering mansion. Check your height restriction. Usually these are expressed as a value either in metric or imperial. Now, the forgotten spaces, garages and decks. Cities have different rules of measuring these. Some include them in your floor area ratio value, whereas other cities have entirely separate allowances for them. This is why it's important to read the zoning carefully or work with someone who already knows. As building designers, we share this information with our clients early on. Now I'd like to mention the magic number 4. Heated spaces count. That means any space with 4 walls, a roof, and insulation. Typically, any heated space over the height of 4 feet count towards your square footage calculations. This is why you typically see crawl spaces that are 4 feet or lower. Understanding these details isn't just about following the rules. It's about maximizing what's possible and making sure every square inch of your property is designed strategically. Visit your local city hall to get the information you need. This is a quick, easy, and valuable step on your journey to construction. Now the bonus section. Can you get more? Yeah, if you know how. Here's the part that most people don't know. Zoning rules are not set in stone. Some permit processes can be the key to unlocking the value of your property. These are some little known processes that developers take advantage of. Development permit. These can give you flexibility, basically creating a unique zone for the project. If you know how to apply for the right permits, you may be able to negotiate larger allowances. Typically, these involve many stakeholders, from city councilors to neighbors. These can take many months to approve. Subdivision permits. You want to combine 2 properties or subdivide a larger property into 2 smaller properties? Well, this is the process for that. And lastly, rezoning permits. Do you want a different zoning to fit your property? There's a process for it. It's only possible if you understand the system. Now, this is the part where most people get stuck. They assume they have to play by the existing rules. But smart homeowners and developers, they rewrite the rules to their favor. Get in touch with an architect or a designer to unlock the hidden value of your property. Now, this is where we come in. At Empire Design, we don't just help you make a design for your property, we help you create a strategy. We analyze zoning rules so you know exactly what's possible before you start. We identify opportunities for variance permits and other permits that give you more flexibility, space, and control. We work with city planners and municipalities to negotiate on your behalf. And we help you maximize every inch of the property so that you get the best return on your investment. Now, we're being completely honest here and transparent. We handle this for all of our customers who want a headache-free approach, but many first-time homeowners are unprepared and often end up going over budget and over their timeline. This is why we want to help. We want to help our DIYers out there and those who are interested to know what happens behind the scenes. So, the real question, are you going to let the system dictate how you build, or are you going to take control of the system and make it work for you? That's the difference between people who get a home that they settled for and those who get the home that they want. If you want to play the game right, Empire Design is here to help you out. We're here to build a home that fits your vision and fits the rules. Like and subscribe if this content is up your alley. Sign up for our email newsletter for the latest in design and construction content. We love what we do and we love to spread that knowledge. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us.